What's up, family? This is the original Naga Mayan, and together we are moving and manifesting. Here are 5 signs that you are raising your vibration and becoming more powerful. Sign number 1, you aren't afraid to be alone anymore. That pang of pity for yourself when you check your social media and you see all your friends going out and you're not at the table. When you feel like life is passing you by and you see everyone out having a good time without you, you don't care about that anymore. Some of you would actually prefer spending time with yourself, because you are your own best company. Your life is so busy and so crowded with noise and thought that you don't even get the time to sit down or to walk and think. Sometimes we need these moments of silence or of pleasant noise, pleasant sound, so that we can think about where we are in life. When you're becoming more powerful, you feel good about going for walks by yourself. You feel good about going out to eat by yourself. You can look around and enjoy the environment. You can listen, you can learn. You can just breathe a sigh of relief. There's no pressure. When you have a plan and you're on your way to spiritual or mental transformation, you just want to be in your own rhythm. You just want to work things out in your own mind. You don't want to be around the doubt. You don't want to tell others your plans, because often people will project their own pessimism and insecurity onto you. And you don't have to do what the other person wants to do or what everyone else in the crowd wants to do. You can march to the beat of your own drum. It's empowering. Sign number 2 that you are raising your vibration and becoming a more powerful person is that you react to tough moments more positively. So you check your credit card statement and you notice that you're double billed for something and it's a big purchase. So you're on the phone with the credit card company and then your neighbor starts ringing your doorbell. You think it's the UPS person, so you ignore it. Then your neighbor starts honking his or her horn, and then you peep outside the window while you're still on the phone and you realize that their oil tank to fill up fuel is in front of their house, trying to park there, and your car is blocking. And then you're on the phone with customer service trying to explain your situation. You already got hung up on twice or disconnected. And then you glance at the time. Oh my gosh, you're running super late for work. What are you gonna do? If this were a year ago, you would freak the flip out. But because you're a different person now who is coming into their power, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna pause, breathe, think about the situation, and prioritize how you're gonna move forward in solving these multiple problems. Maybe you're gonna call it quits with the customer service rep, because you could always do it during your break, or you could do it when you get back home. And then the priority is to go outside and move your car so the neighbor can get the fuel tank in. And then you might call your boss on the way and say, hey, I'm running late. I had an emergency. Go to work. During your break or after work, you call back customer service. It's not the end of the world. People who are not powerful and who are not raising their vibration, they react emotionally, they react rashly to situations of being under pressure. It brings out past trauma, it brings out fear, insecurity, panic. You can just look around you and watch. Whenever there are situations similar to the crazy situation that I gave you, look at how different people react. You can tell who the leaders are and who the weak people are. You can always tell by the way they react under pressure, the way they react in tough situations, They cannot problem solve because they panic. They lack the confidence. The person who's not in their power yet would have probably, because of ego, stayed on the phone with the customer service rep because you got hung up on twice. You damn well are gonna make it happen now is the attitude. And then your neighbor's just gonna get more upset with you and you're gonna be even later for work. But if you are a person in control, then you know how to breathe and prioritize which actions you should take first. You're not blinded by fear or by ego. Okay, sign number 3 that you are raising your vibration and becoming more powerful is that you live in the moment. You stay present and focused on what you are doing at the task at hand. You are calm and focused in how you handle obstacles, and you don't let the many obstacles in life get you down. You are able to move from a tough situation like the one that I described earlier right into seeing your coworkers in the office and turning on those positive vibes, those good feelings that you normally radiate. You are able to just walk into a room and radiate because you are living in the present. You stay in the moment and you give it all that you've got. You are fully present because you know how to apply your best to anything in life. To work, to family, to friends, to working out, to doing your different creative hobbies. Whatever you're doing at that moment, you are focused like a racehorse. Some people think that multitasking is the best thing, but when you multitask, you just have a bunch of things come out lackluster. Multitasking is the path to mediocrity. Now let me explain that a little bit further. That's not to say that you should concentrate on one thing at a time in your life. But if you have a list of tasks to complete for the day, don't try to finish your latest project for work on your laptop while you're playing with your kids. Finish your task on the laptop first. Tell your kids, I'm gonna need 20 to 30 minutes to finish something. This way you concentrate on it, you give it your best. And then when you're finished with that, you go and you play with your kids and you do the same thing. You don't scroll through your phone. You don't answer phone calls and have business conversations or conversations with friends. When you're with your kids and you commit to playing with them, you commit to them 100%. You are fully present. You are asking them questions, you're being goofy, you're rolling your sleeves up, getting messy. You are playing with them, not just watching them, not doing anything half-assed. My to-do list might have such diverse things on it. It's going to have domestic errands, it's going to have job tasks, it's going to have things that I need to complete within the week or the month. And I just try to knock them out one by one, but I don't try to do 2 things at the same time because, as I said, that just leads to shoddy work. Your mind needs to be wherever your body is focused on at that moment and vice versa. I don't make a whole lot of time in my schedule to meet up with friends, but when I do, it's usually for, we know what the purpose is, we know what our plan is, what we're gonna do. I just don't have the kind of time to just sit down and shoot the breeze. I'm going to commit myself fully to them. I'm going to be fully present. I need to because I don't see them that much. I don't make that much time in my schedule. So when I am with them, I try to give it my all. I try to be a good listener. I try to be supportive. I try to be sensitive. I share things about myself. I don't have a wall up. And, I allow myself to be fun. I try to just radiate joy and just be that fun person because, friendship and joy and family are what life is about as well. And I know that I can't get lost in my work and let these important relationships fall by the wayside. And we need each other. It's a reciprocal relationship. And so you have to put out what you hope to get back in. When I have tasks to complete at work, my mindset is chunk it. Take it one step at a time. If you apply yourself fully to something and you do it one thing at a time, you're knocking off things from the list and you're being very productive, and you're doing good work, you're producing good work, and you are actually making more time in your life for other things that you want to do. It's a horrible feeling to do something like a project at work and then do it badly because you weren't focused. And then the whole thing is messed up and you've got to do it again. When I'm approaching a task at work, I completely focus on it. I don't have another window open, checking my social media. I'm not looking to make doctor's appointments while I'm working on my work task. I'm not making personal phone calls and getting caught up and wasting time. I'm just completing the task at hand so that I get it over with and I have the rest of my time free to do other things. Sign number 4 that you are raising your vibration and becoming more powerful is that you have begun to transform your environment. Yes, you don't know what's come over you, but you just started this big decluttering mission and you threw away half the things that you wanted. Hopefully you donated some, but the decluttering is a part of that spiritual awakening, because a part of you realizes that there are certain old energies in your environments that are not healthy, not positive, not productive for you. And so you're instinctively getting rid of those items. So it involves decluttering. It also involves beautifying your environment or setting up things to make them more accessible, to set up things to make them suit your lifestyle and to help you. I have recently started to put together an altar. It's actually 2 altars. I kind of have like a yin yang thing going on, and I approach whichever altar it is that I need that particular energy from on certain evenings, and I do my meditation in the nighttime, and then I go right to bed, and in front of my bed I put my vision board. So I go to sleep looking at these images and these goals every night. I raise my vibration by praying in the nighttime and meditating and burning incense and all these things to sort of alter my mindset or to bring me into that different consciousness, that different reality, which is so important. It's so important to put yourself in that mindset. It's almost like going into a different dimension. So this is how important transforming my environment was. It actually changed my daily routine. It actually changed my habits, and it changed the way that I pray, just because I set up those 2 altars and I redecorated my environment. I decluttered and I redecorated. Now, another part of decluttering, and I also did this myself, is not just decluttering clothing and objects in your home, but also decluttering things in your mind, letting go of things that don't serve you, of belief systems and of past trauma or just negative thoughts like insecurity and fear. You know, maybe you had an incident in school where a teacher told you that you couldn't do something and you've just been holding on to it forever. It could be the reason why you never signed up for those guitar classes, or why you never went for that modeling shoot. Maybe someone made a comment to you because they were projecting their insecurities onto you and you took it to heart. So decluttering also involves letting go of all these things, all the things that haunt you. Just let it go. As well as, when I say decluttering, I'm also talking about getting rid of relationships that are toxic, relationships that are negative, relationships that are stagnant with negative energy. It's so important to go through your social media every now and then. Your timeline, and I've been speaking to other spiritual people about this as well. Your timeline becomes a sort of a living persona or a living entity of who you are. It becomes a part of your personality, because whatever you think about, whatever you create in your mind actually exists in reality. So if you're creating a persona, as we all do. We all create personas. It's sort of impossible not to, because you can't portray everything on your timeline. Therefore, if it's a piece of you, then it's called a persona because it's not the full person. So part of this timeline, a lot of energies pass through this timeline. A lot of different friends who mean well, but maybe they're posting pictures of tragedies and disturbing things, and you're scrolling through and you're reading them. Or they could be friends who have got something against you, a little bit of jealousy going on. Maybe it comes out in the comments and the way they respond to some of your posts, or the way they don't respond. Maybe you're feeling sensitive about someone not liking your posts, but then you see them liking other people's posts who you're mutual friends with, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, my post was so similar to that one. Or maybe like you posted pictures of your kids and your mutual friend also posted pictures of their kids, but this friend is only liking their pictures. Things like that could bother you. If these are things that are bothering you so much, then you need to either mute them or unfollow them. You don't necessarily need to sever the relationship by unfriending them, but it's amazing what just muting a person's stories and timeline can do for you. It just clears your head of all the negativity. And sometimes you may go back to that relationship and say, okay, I was tainted by feelings that I had and I was reading into it. Or, maybe I read this person wrong, or maybe you found out something that changed your perspective. But the point is, you can't get to that point until you heal yourself, until you feel better. So muting the person or unfollowing the person is sometimes the answer, until you can breathe and think and make sense of it, and maybe also reevaluate that friendship. And sign number 5 that you are raising your vibration and becoming a more successful person is, boom, you finally started going for things that people or you yourself never thought that you would go for before. You don't give a bleep what other people say. You're gonna go for it. You're gonna do the damn thing. And even if you fail, you know what? It's not gonna faze you, because diamonds are only created under pressure. Honey, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. It's okay to listen to opinions and to be a good listener without ego, because some of their opinions and their advice could have some truth to it. And this is how you reevaluate your work or your art and you make it better. You cannot be completely blind to criticism, but at the same time, you have to understand, you have to believe that most of the people out there are afraid to take chances. Most people out there will project their own fear and insecurities onto you. Think about that. So whenever you take a big step, a big leap of faith and do something, there's always going to be that aunt or that friend who's going to say, you know what, be careful because so-and-so might happen. Or, oh, I tried to do that before and I failed. Don't let them insert their own story, their own narrative into your life. Because guess what? They may have done it, but they may not have done it the same way that you're doing it. Maybe Lady Luck is on your side and it wasn't on their side. Maybe it just wasn't their destiny. Maybe they just didn't put that much work into it. You don't know. So don't listen to other people's opinions. Don't take it to heart. And remember that you got to fail a lot to succeed at something, right? Failure is something that you cannot be afraid of. If you're afraid of failure, then you may as well never try to do anything. If you're afraid of failure, you may as well just sit down and shut up, and just because the people who make it, they have failed, and they've failed many times. So you have got to be prepared with a mindset that, okay, I'm going to expect to fail a couple of times or several times or dozens of times. And you know what? I got to get back up and look at it through a different angle, figure out solutions, figure out ways to improve my product or my service or whatever it is that you're trying to do. And you just got to figure it out and go for it. People are going to project their own doubts and insecurities onto you, and you don't need that kind of energy, because energy is contagious. If you liked or connected to anything that I said in this video, please go ahead and like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'm working hard to bring you high quality content. This is the original Naga Mayan. Until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And together we are moving and manifesting.